Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate the supine chop and lift. Now, I'm using the mat table as if it was a bed. I'm using this part of it as if it was a bedpost. That's one way you could set this up at home. You can also find something heavy, I don't know, maybe a squat rack or a piece of exercise equipment, maybe even a dinner table, but something that has enough weight to support the band as we pull against the leg. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna lay myself down here on the ground to set myself up in the supine chop and lift. And I just wanna point something out here. So if you imagine a perpendicular line running through the middle of the table here to the edge of the table, I'm gonna lay myself at a series of 45-degree angles, and I'm gonna perform what's called a chop and a lift as I do so. So I'm gonna start head on here. So if this is perpendicular, I'm gonna turn myself 45 degrees. Okay, and I'm gonna grab a hold of the ends of the band like so. And what I'm doing is I'm making sure that another way you can figure out if you're at that 45 is making sure that the band is gonna be pulled from your, in this case, my right shoulder down toward my left hip. So I'm gonna give myself a little bit of room so I get a little tension as I pull down. And I'm gonna do this in two parts. So the first part is actually a pull. So I'm gonna pull down to my chest, okay, and then I'm gonna push through to my hip. And what I'm doing is I'm making sure as I do this that I don't support myself with my neck. Now for some of you, you're gonna find that sort of challenging. So one little hack we do is we'll have you do a bridge. Now make sure when you do your bridge, you feel the effort coming from the back of your hip or your glutes, that you're not feeling that in your quads or your low back. And if you are, you might need to drop your low back down towards the ground and drive through your heels, letting the knees spread. And you can get into that bridge, and sometimes even though this seems like it would be hard, it'll actually make it easier to not feel your neck because you're giving yourself a strong anchor point. So now you're anchoring to your midsection of your torso instead of up to your neck. So I'm gonna just demonstrate what that looks like. So I'm coming here from my shoulder down to heart center, and I'm going down through. And what I'm making sure of as I do this is I'm making sure I lock out my elbows at the end of the move. So this is what we call the chop. Okay, the other chop, I would rotate 90 degrees, all right, to the other 45-degree angle to the table. And I'm gonna come from here, I'll demonstrate it without the bridge, heart center and down. Okay, and actually I felt myself kicking my neck, so I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go there. And this bridge is sort of training wheels. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to go from needing a bridge to not use our neck to not needing a bridge and still being able to anchor the move down to our midsection instead of up to our neck, just like that. So that's the chop. And then the lift, I'm gonna turn another 90 degrees there. And now I'm gonna come up from my hip, up to my chest, heart center, as they call it in yoga. And I'm gonna extend my arms up overhead. Okay, just like that. And if this was hard, again, I could use that bridge. And then I can come down, try and get rid of the training wheels, so to speak, and do it again while still feeling anchored down here. And the last one that we would do is me going from my right hip to my left shoulder, like so. Okay, so this is the supine chop and lift. Give this one a try at home, share it with a friend who needs it, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any of our updates here at the Movement Clinic.